Tyler, Mike, thanks for being here. Who has the first question? We'll start with Bob to your right, guys.
Hey, Mike, heading into spring, there were some questions about Joe and the shoulder and all that. It seemed like he came out of it totally healthy and has been working on some different stuff. How happy have you been with the progress that he made over spring training and being ready for today?
Yeah, I've been thrilled with Joe's progress. He's done a tremendous job. Great all season, crushed it. Appropriately used a veteran kind of ramp up into spring training, getting himself ready, and then appropriately towards the end of our spring training, really, was the Joe Musgrove that, he expects, we expect. He's been terrific.
Facing Yamamoto today, what do you guys sort of base your scouting on? Is it more his history in Japan or maybe what you've seen more recently against MLB hitters? Because maybe he has to change some things a little bit without giving away all the trade secrets. What do you focus on more, do you think?
Yeah, general speaking, more of a hybrid. You alluded to it. What we've seen from he's done in Japan and some of the history there, some of the WBC stuff, and then, of course, what he's done in spring training. We've looked at a little bit of everything and, let our eyes, also evaluate it tonight.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Kevin.
Something you did at the end of spring and then last night was put sugar in. Seems to be a thing. Can you speak to the strength that gives you?
Yeah, you're talking about, and Pro does a nice job in left, threw a guy out in the exhibition game, trying to take an extra base, gets good jumps, takes good routes. So he's a, very good defender himself. I think he was top 10 in the league in assists a couple of years ago. But, Sugar's a center fielder that can play left. And so now you've got an upgrade a little bit with some speed. And now you got three center fielders playing in the outfield. So just like the ability with the lead late in the game to get him in there.
Other questions? We'll go to Bryce on your left, guys.
Mike, can you kind of expand on, Joe's makeup in the sense how much you guys trust him in big games, big moments, to lead, all those things? He seems unique and singular, even with professional baseball players. There are some of those guys out there, but he seems unique.
Yeah, there's a lot of uniqueness in our clubhouse, and Joe's part of that in a very positive way. You talk about the it factor. It's hard to absolutely quantify it, but Joe has it, and it's relative to a lot of things. It's relative to the physical ability to compete clearly at the big league level and be one of the better guys in the league, which clearly Joe is. It also speaks to his dedication to be a guy that's willing to step up and model what it looks like to be a professional, big league, contributing, winning player. And then it's also the ability to share your thoughts and hold people accountable to a high standard and do it in a manner of respect and professionalism. And Joe does all those things. And he also takes care of the guys off the field. He's just a consummate pro, and he's a winner across the board.
Do you remember that first time you met him, what that first impression was like?
Well, the first time I saw Joe was in AAA, which feels like 100 years ago, when he was pitching in Houston's organization. And I was always, part of our responsibility was to write players up that we liked on other teams that we thought could help win a championship, be a championship player in a championship club. And I think I wrote up 4 guys that year, and Joe was one of them. So that was my first nonverbal chance to meet Joe. And then over the course of time, and we had some dinners together, just get a chance to share thoughts. And again, I use the word partner with our guys. That's the way it works best. Where clearly I've got a responsibility, but we work together with our clubhouse. And Joe's been a tremendous partner, and I enjoy talking to him. He's got a lot of depth. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of appreciation for the team, obviously the city. And it's been a good relationship, and I've been enjoying every moment of it.
First row on your right, guys. Kevin.
Hey, Tyler, a lot of talk in spring about if you guys do the things, right, you're not going to win every game, but you'll come out on top more often than not. Was last night one of those type of games, and why?
What do you mean by that?
Like that you did a lot of the right things, you just didn't win.
Yeah, I think we played a really good game. We competed every single game, every pitch of that game. Just some unfortunate things happened there, but we competed, and I think that's nothing to hang our hats on, and that's in the past, and we're just focused on today now and get the win today.
Other questions? We'll go to the 4th row on your left.
For manager, last year there was 30 pitch clock inflection in 162 games, but yesterday was for. What do you think about it?
Yeah, yesterday's game is, it's one of 162. It's the opener. It was on a fairly large stage. People were paying attention to it, so it's a little more magnified, which we love. I love it because it felt like a playoff game. They had that atmosphere prior to the game, and I'm talking about like a deep playoff run game, like deep in the playoffs. It was awesome. So I love the environment. And I love the way the guys responded to T. Wade's point. The guys got after it, were aggressive, played the game right, came up short. But we took a lot of things from it that were good, and we, look at it and figure out ways we can always improve.
Other questions for Tyler or Mike? We'll go to the second row here.
Tyler, if you could speak to, just sort of the challenges of being ready to play multiple positions, kind of on any given night. And then, Mike, I was wondering if you remembered the other 3 guys you wrote up that year.
I'll go first. I've been doing it for a while now, so earlier in my career it was trial and error and figure out what worked for me, what didn't work for me. But over the course of the years, I refined what routine works for me to get ready to play any position at any moment in time and staying crisp at all of them. So I'm comfortable wherever they put me.
It's a good question about who I wrote up. I don't want to get the year wrong, but I got a pretty good idea. But those years kind of ran together, so let me get back to you.
Go to Bob here, guys.
Tyler, you've been a part of a lot of different clubhouses now. It just seemed like there was an amazing energy before this game yesterday in terms of you got the veteran guys who have been here and done that. You had some young guys that were energetic as well. How important is it to have that kind of a blend, and what's your sense of the blend that you've seen here so far?
Yeah, the blend is great. I noticed it from day one in spring training, the moment I stepped into that clubhouse. The mix between young, veteran, there's a lot of energy between even the veteran guys and us. So it's a fun clubhouse to be a part of, and that's just something special that's going to keep moving forward through 162.
Other questions? Go to the second row on your right, guys.
네, 통역을 좀 부탁드리겠습니다. 감독님께
I have a question
질문드리겠습니다.
to the manager.
김하성 선수가 작년에
ask
이제
about
1번
Ha-Seong
타자로
Kim.
자리를 잘
Last year,
잡았었는데
he
이제 올해
played
시범
as
경기
a
개막전부터
first
감독님께서
hitter,
5번으로
and
기용을
from this
하셨고
season you
그때
used
질문을 드렸을
him
때
as a
큰
fifth
의미가 없다고
hitter,
하셨었는데
and
이제
you
결국
said that is
개막전도
not a special
5번으로
meaning
나왔고
to
오늘도
allow
5번
him to play
타순으로
as
이제
a
출전을
fifth hitter,
하는데
and today he's also
그
playing as
김하성
a
선수에게
fifth hitter.
어떤 년을
And what are you
기대해서
expecting
5번
from
타순을
Kim,
배치를 하셨는지
and why
궁금합니다.
did you put Ha-Seong Kim in fifth player?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So the question is Kimmy led off a fair amount for the club last year and did it mostly against the lefties, but did lead off a fair amount last year. And this year, the question is, he's hit fifth last night, he's hitting fifth again tonight, and why is that? Listen, the good news is we've got a lot of interchangeable parts in our lineup. The specific reason why we like Kimmy in the fifth spot, I always like a guy that can handle the bat in the 5 spot. I think there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of opportunity, especially with our lineup, for people to come up with runners on base. He uses the whole field. He puts the ball in play a lot, and he's not on the ground a ton. And if he is, he can run well and doesn't hit into a lot of double plays. So, if he's going to use the whole field, he's also going to take his walks. He's going to put the ball in play. He's going to be in the air. It's a pretty good recipe for guys that hit fifth that can do that, give them a chance to drive in runs.
Anything else for Tyler or Mike? All right, guys. Best of luck tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.